Welcome to today's webinar session on risk associated with AWS cloud services. And thank you for taking your time out and being here today. I would like to quickly introduce Tauhid, our presenter for the day. He's working as a security researcher at Secure 7 and has an expertise in cloud penetration testing and is an AWS expert as well. He will initially explain you about Amazon's AWS and its services, and later talk about the security challenges involved in different AWS services that might risk an organization's security. So I would request Tauhid to take it further from here, and please start with your presentation.
Thank you, Anudip. Thank you for such nice words. So, first of all, good evening, everyone. Uh, Today, I'm just going to show you the risk associated with the AWS cloud services. AWS cloud services, like AWS provide many kind of services like database service, Elasticsearch services, storage services. So I'm just presentation because of the time being. We have a limited time to show like risks associated with the cloud services, Amazon. Okay, so let's start about me. As Anudeep already introduced me, I'm just going to tell something about me. Like I'm a exploit researcher at Secure Layer 7, and I have also written many exploit and submitted in different frameworks like Metasploit and different frameworks. I love to do code basically in Python. I love bike riding. I love to travel world, but nowadays my hobby is only stay at home and do my job. About my company, Secure Layer 7 is an internationally famous company to provide a InfoSec services to our customer. We have a different regions customer like US customers, Indian-based customer, Middle East customers. So already we are serving a good different type of pen testing like cloud-based, like web-based, mobile penetration testing, and so on. So let's move to our agenda. So our agenda is like, first I'm going to show you what is AWS, like introduction about AWS. After that, I will cover what's requirement you need to perform like further activity, which I'm going to show you in the further slides. After that, like we'll talk about each services like S3 buckets, EC2, AI, IAM, and Route 53. There are different services of AWS we are going to cover. After that, like infrastructure security risk and data protection in AWS cloud. Many organizations nowadays using a AWS solution to work from home. We have different requirements to test their environment. They are safe or not. Like nobody can take data outside from the AWS infrastructure, like internal network. Okay, so let's move to our introduction about the cloud, AWS. So here is the services. Like AWS provides services which on demands. Like for storage, we can use S3 buckets. There's a EBS service also, which is different from S3 bucket. S3 bucket is widely used for storing data. In S3 bucket, everything is an object. In S3 bucket, we can like entirely surf our website, we can run our website, we can save clients data, customers data, we can save different kind of data in the S3 bucket. Compute machine, EC2. Basically, EC2 it's provide different kind of system instance for a customer to compute some to compute the mathematical calculation, to compute the processing power. We can use there's a different kind of compute machine, EC2 instance. We can like rent a storage based, we can rent a graphic based and different. Route 3 basically is domain name system. Domain name system, everyone know about this, or if not, I'll cover in my further slides. User management, IAM basically is a user management. Here we can set policies from each user. So like apart from the services, AWS it's very cost effective. You can use as much as compute power, storage power, and storage power, and pay for what you use only. You no need to pay like huge amount. If you are using a less, then you can pay a less. They have a good APIs, so you can just program any your software and you can directly communicate with your software to AWS services. No need to maintain IT department. Yeah, actually, it's a fact. You don't need to maintain a like entire IT department or entire storage department or everything like which is related to IT. Like we know you no need to implement big data servers in your company. Just buy a Amazon services, just buy a Amazon. That's it. It will work like your IT department. Just hire one or two maybe like for maintaining your AWS server. Graphical UI, so a very good graphical interface Amazon provides us. Good documentation. They have a documented each and every services, each and every stuff on their blog or documentation area. Requirements, like you need a AWS account, AWS CLI tool, and brain, a little bit of brain to manage AWS CLI. So now let's talk each services, like about each services. So first we'll cover S3 buckets. Amazon Simple Storage Service, S3 buckets. What is a S3 bucket is? S3 bucket is a simple storage service. It's a simple storage where you can store your data. Data might be your sensitive bank data or documents or financial data, videos, movies, and like images, everything. Whatever you want to store, you can store on the S3 buckets. S3 buckets, they have own benefits for using S3 bucket. Easily manage data and the access control. You can easily manage the access control on every object. Object is whatever you have uploaded on the S3 bucket, it's your object. So suppose you have uploaded some folder on the S3 bucket, then you can easily manage those folders access control. Like if you don't want to access any other, like in your company or any other user in your organization, then you can set up a access control on your resource. Data availability, they have a good data availability. Like suppose they have actually different regions, different servers, and different countries. So suppose you are uploading something on Mumbai servers, they have a Mumbai servers also. Suppose you have uploaded something on the Mumbai server, you can access from the like different region servers like US server or UK server. So this will give you a more good performance, right? So you can upload on your nearest server, AWS automatically do your work to copy your data to this server, so US and UK server, and your US clients can access data from US or UK servers, whatever they want. So this will give you a good performance. This industry's leading scalability and durability and many more. Like they have a many more features, security and security point of view, they have a good security. So here we are going to talk about like misconfigurations. Like before like going to tell like misconfiguration vulnerability, this is the structure of buckets, how buckets is look like. Like you can see HTTP after this is your schema, basically your schema. This is your actually bucket name, like Tauhid test validator. And this is your AWS, and this is your key, your file, your objects. So that means we are going to fetch info.txt from this bucket, Tauhid test 22. From this bucket, we are going to fetch info.txt, or sometimes it's look like S3 region name. After that, the bucket name and your object name, your key. I hope everyone is like understanding this. So let's move to misconfiguration vulnerability. Okay, so open bucket being accessed from the internet. What is it? We'll cover further. Everyone write and read permission on the buckets. This is actually a huge misconfiguration on the buckets, because if everyone have a write and read permission on the bucket, they can write anything. Like they can write your like malicious code, they can write a backdoor in your bucket, they can easily rob anything in your bucket by simple commands. So what this misconfiguration it leads to, what's the impact of like open bucket or everyone write and read? Okay, so impact would be sensitive data leakage, as everyone can read your open bucket, then it might be chances there is some sensitive file which is not supposed to be a public, but just because of your S3 bucket is publicly accessible by everyone, it's listing. So everyone can read those confidential file. It might be your credential, it might be your like access key or your banking data. So it can be anything. Data modification, as we already discussed this in previous slide, if there is a write permission, then any user can modify your existing data. Like suppose I have something abc.xyz, and in abc.xyz there is some secret codes, there is some secret files. So if attacker wants, he can rewrite my actual data to anything gibberish, like if anything, it, it will be anything. Data deleted by an attacker, expert obvious. If attacker have a write and read permission, then he can delete your actual data and write something, or delete your actual data with nothing. Already mentioned, like an attacker can delete the bucket, which impacts on the availability of the organization, and organizations like some reputation will be lost. Suppose the like credential, suppose there is some customer data which not supposed to be a public, but there is a misconfiguration, and due to that misconfiguration, attacker is able to manage and delete and modify the data on the S3 bucket. Then it might be a chances to organizations reputation loss, because organization have lost customer data, right? And in different scenarios, an attacker can change this leaked information to compromise or to exploit some different vulnerabilities. We will cover further in further slides. So let's move into the like our first demo. I will show you. I hope it's visible to all. If it's not, then please tell me. It's visible, right?
Uh,
Yeah,
we can see Google now.
right, right. It's actually a video. So here I'm going to explain. Yeah, open bucket. I've set up the open bucket for demo purpose. There's a link for open buckets. Okay. So here I'm just directly copy and pasting the URL in the Chrome in the any browser, and just try to access the bucket. Here we can see the open buckets contain lots of secret folders and lots of data. We can access this from AWS CLI tool also. Like for accessing this AWS CLI, we have to use AWS command. As I already said, this is your bucket name actually. From accessing a CLI tool, you have just mentioned the bucket name. No need to do S3, US, ist, and also. Yeah, here we can see secret folder credential.csv index.html, info.txt. These are publicly available data. You can see here, right into the screen. I'm playing again. So I'm interested into the secret folder. So how I can access? Just appending the secret folder into my bucket list. Here I can say there's some keys, some instance secrets, secret.php, which maybe contain your confidential codes, your product codes. I wanted to dump this credential.csv, which is in root folder. So I have deleted the secret folder and just append the credential.csv into the my bucket URL. For dumping credential.csv, I have to use your cp, which is a command for copying our data from one destination to your source. So here also I'm going to provide a source and destination. CP, this is my destination, and I have to mention the source. Sorry, destination. This is my source. S3 bucket is my source, and I'm going to mention my destination where I need to copy this data. So here we can see I have copied the data from AWS bucket to my local system. Here we can see this username is Anudeep22, password, access key, secret access key, all I have got from our open buckets. So this might be a very dangerous, because if anyone wants to access these services, if anyone wants to access and extend this attack to further, they can easily, because they have your access key and they have your secret access key also. So they just set up a AWS configuration and they can actually perform whatever Anudeep22 have privileges. Okay, so this is all about like how you can like take advantage of open bucket to get a credential, to get a secret data from that open buckets and publicly open buckets. Now let's consider a second example, like where everyone user have a privileges to write data. Like this means every user which have a like AWS account, they can actually write a data in your bucket with easy commands with using AWS CLI tool also. So let's move into the next demo. Yeah, the edit permission for everyone. Actually, instant edit, we can say read and write permission for everyone. Here I have set up another AWS S3 bucket which have a edit permission for everyone to do actions. So let's play this video and see. Here I can see in before example, we had an access permission, like we had a list permission to actually view the data. Easily we can view the data, whatever they holds, we can easily view the data. But in this example, we don't have such permission to view the data, like actually list the data. So I'm going to try another stuff like write stuff. As I already told, like list permission we don't have. So let's try to write something on the bucket. Okay, here we can verify we don't have a like list permissions. Okay, no problem. Still we can write if we have everyone have the right permission. I've created a temporary directory because I don't want it to disclose my actual data. Like in previous, we can give a destination and source to copy from S3 bucket to our local machine. And this we are going to copy from our local machine to a target S3 bucket. As we can see, it's uploaded. We got a message. That means it's uploaded successfully. Okay, so here we can see we have the privileges to write something on the S3 bucket. That's why we are able to write our data, like our local data, to target S3 buckets. We have a like S3 bucket endpoint link also. We can easily go there and verify it's actually working or not. But okay, but in this video, I think I have just show you how to upload the data. Okay, so I think S3 buckets, we have done S3 bucket, I think. Let's move into the another services. Let's back to the PPT. Yeah, everyone have a right permission on the S3. S3. Sorry guys, typo. Okay, let's move into the another services. We have a time bound, so let's do quickly. Okay, Elastic Compute Cloud EC2. EC2 is basically a kind of system service. if you want to compute something, this is basically a gives you a actual OS, actual software. You can use those OS on the cloud, on the your browser. You no need to purchase a high-end configured server for your use. You can just buy AWS and EC2 servers depending on your like requirements. If your requirements is gaming, then you can go with a GPU EC2 instance. If your requirement is like general, then you can go with general EC2. If your requirement is like storage, then you can go with a storage EC2 instance. And there's a one more category like memory. So you can, if you want good good RAM, good memory, then you can go with memory optimized instance, EC2 instance. Okay, so let's talk about like misconfiguration. Which kind of misconfiguration happens in the wood EC2 which leads to something serious? Like there's a multiple misconfiguration, but I'm just going to show you only two. Basically only one. Second is your for your homework. You can just research. If anything you can talk. I'm just going to cover some basic about the second one. And for first one, I have a video POC also, video demo also, which I'll share you, going to show you. Okay, so business risk, sensitive data disclosure as previous, like if attacker can steal their sensitive information about your keys, then they can easily connect your instance, they can easily dump your instance, they can compromise your EC2 instance, which is directly connected to your organization, which leads again our organization's loss, because if attacker can do some fishy stuff, some like malicious stuff in your EC2, in your organization's EC2 instance, then it will definitely lose the organization's reputation. It will definitely reflect on the organization's reputations, right? So let's take a look how it can be possible if anyone have your EC2 instance sensitive data, like your keys. For this, I have a video also. Here you can see my screen, video screen. Let's play the video. As we already dumped the key, I'm going to use previous key to extend this attack and to extend something more dangerous, like to compromise the EC2 instance or to dump the EC2 instance and to verify the snapshot and all. Here we can see we have an access key ID, secret key, okay, secret access key and access key ID. Once I got those information, then I have to do only a configuration of my AWS. Here I'm showing you how you can configure your AWS CLI. your region, your server, which region you want to use. It's also very important, but in this case, actually it's fine. Okay, default output format is JSON. Apply. Everything will show in JSON format. Okay, so I'm using a profile attacker, which I already created previous using ghost keys, STC, get caller identity. So it will show me the identity like account name, username, and other stuffs of this profile, attacker profile. Like I got user ID, account ID, and ARN. Okay. So for dumping the instruction, like for dumping the AWS instance, you just need to mention the account ID. Oops, this might be some typo. Type only. No, there's a miss. There's a typo only. Great. This command show enters create snapshots. How many snapshot we have, and the snapshot name and description and volume IDs and all. This is very easy for us to identify the snapshot, and this is very easy for us to bound this snapshot in our machines, in our instance. I'm not going to cover the whole stuff here. I'm just showing you how you can just dump the instance snapshots. Of course, we have like limited time, right? So let's move to our slide. Okay, let's move into the another services. IAM. IAM. What is this service used for? IAM is a very good services to manage your groups, to manage your users. If you want to create some service and wanted to allow certain, like some user only can able to access these services, then you can do this using the service. If there's a different bucket you have, there's a different EC instance you have, and you wanted to use, like some user can only use your instance one, then you can use this AIM service, and you can allow for only instance one, only read or write or anything. They have a different type of privileges. You can just drag and drop. You can just select the checkbox which which privilege do you want to give the particular user or particular groups. You can create as many as users or delete any users if you are admin. Okay. Benefits of IAM: they will provide you a MFA, like multi-factor authentication, like two-factor authentication basically, and you can integrate your corporate Active Directory in IAM with very easily. Okay, so what's misconfiguration? Here's leads something serious. Just because of IAM, it's all about user management. So there's a misconfiguration which is related to user management level only. Like if you like not able to give a proper privileges to some user, then it might be a chances to some trouble. Like I have a one case study for you. I will explain what actually they done. Okay. Okay, GitLab database incidents. Actually, there's a in GitLab, they had two different databases, DB1 and DB2. They wanted to delete a DB2 files, which is a staging environment, we can say right now, which is on the staging environment, but accidentally they deleted a DB1 database files. And when like user realized this, they cancel, they abort the delete action. But already 3,300 GB data deleted in the DB1. So this was a major database delete incidents by GitLab, which is a very popular, like GitLab. It's a very popular. This can be like this can be done in your organization also. Like this type of mistake, this type of accidents, it's happen in your organization also. So that we have to create a proper user management. Like we have to give only privileges to read or write certain stuff, like certain resources. We don't give entire privileges to single user if not required, right? So I have only for one case study for this. Let's move to Route 53. Was you already are time bound? You already okay. What is Route 53? It's a domain name system. What is domain name system? Domain name system, I can give you a small example about domain name system. Actually, it's a phone book, like a telephone book. We have a like name, and we need to find a telephone number of particular user, like of particular name. Suppose on telephone book there's a like Tauhid Sheikh, and my number is 77XYZ, like whatever digits. I'm not want to disclose my number, that's why. So it's basically resolve a name into the numbers, and DNS, it's resolve domain name into the IP address. Okay, so it's a very good service. They have a own protection for DDoS on they have a CDN also. They have a good server limits, different servers, which gives you a good performance if you are going with Route 53. They have a different servers in different countries, like in India, in US, in UK, Singapore. Those are different services, like servers. Just a minute. Misconfiguration in DNS. Yeah. If you misconfigure your DNS, suppose you are using a one S3 bucket or one service S3 bucket. Okay. You are using a one S3 bucket, and by mistakenly you created, not by mistakenly, you created a like pointing CNAME XYZ points to your S3 bucket, and after your work you deleted the bucket, but you not delete the S3 like Route 53 records in your DNS system. So what can it will be like cause? This cause a subdomain takeover. Subdomain takeover. If you are pointing your one of your subdomain to S3 bucket, and after your work you have deleted the S3 bucket but not deleted the DNS record, so it will cause a subdomain takeover, which leads your organization reputation. Again, your organization reputation will lose because any attacker can claim your subdomain and do whatever they want. Like they can fish, they can host a fish page, they can pull your customer, they can do malicious activity using your subdomain. So I have a demo for this also. I would like to show you guys. Give me a second. Okay. Cut the camera. Yeah, I hope you guys able to see my screen, video screen. Yeah, here we can see like one of my subdomain is giving us a 404 bucket name thus no search bucket. That means there is a no bucket, no S3 buckets, and bucket name is this. It's verify actually is pointing to a S3 buckets using a git command, or you can use any online or offline tools also. I'm more comfortable with the. So here you can see like I have requested for CNAME and I got answer back from DNS server takeover.tauhidsheikh.com S3 website AP. Means this is actually a S3 bucket. This domain, the subdomain is actually pointing on S3 bucket. Okay. This domain is pointing to this bucket. And there is a currently no bucket. That's why we can create a bucket and points our bucket to that subdomain. Basically, the whole idea is creating own buckets and point that bucket to a subdomain to a take. Okay, what we need to do, we need to create a bucket just named similar to or this. We are using AP South 1. Okay, let's upload some file on our S3 bucket, because after takeover we need to upload something, right? Like anything, fish page or some files to give us as a proof of concept to organization. We can take over your buckets. Yeah, we can use static website hosting. This will give feature to directly host your like bucket as a website. Okay, so we have uploaded that. Now we need to give a permission like everyone, just because of this file supposed to be read by everyone because it's a website, right? So this file should be read by everyone. So for that we need to allow the public access. So I have exactly permission, and I have to allow the public access, right? After that, it's forbidden because on the uploaded data you don't have privileges to read. That's why it's forbidden. So we have to allow read permission, not write, right? We take over the subdomain, which is pointing to some bucket, which is not in use, which is deleted by the admin or maybe like other whoever like use the bucket. They have a they deleted the bucket. That's why we can do this. Just because of in DNS there is an entry of like available, we have to do this. We are able to do this just because of DNS entry. After your work, once you're done with your S3 bucket, you have to delete the Route 53 record as well of the particular bucket. For mitigation this, you have to delete your Route 53 record as well after done with your bucket. Okay. So slide is over. Actually, the video is over. Let's move to our slides. Here we can see. As you can see, like our next section, infrastructure security risk and data protection in AWS cloud. In past month, we had like different kind of project. We had a different projects for our AWS and Azure clouds. Our clients wants from us to check whether our internal user can send data outside from this infrastructure or not. They have a connected their corporation with the AWS network, and they wants to check if any client, any like user, it's able to copy the data from internal network, from instance networks like EC2 instance network outside, like on internet. So in this, basically there are many like features. We can use different kind of DLP also to prevent this, and we can also create a one layer using a firewall of AWS to prevent all such things, right? This is the example. This is a diagram to access the internet from EC2 instance, right? Here you can see if it's require like 172 network, if it wants to communicate with 172.168.0.0.16 subnets, they call locally. If they wants to communicate with like internet, they have to go on internet. Like from here, they go on internet. And in this example, a customer gateway, like a corporate network, it's connected with the our AWS network. So they can easily communicate with a corporate and EC2 instance. They can easily share the data between corporate network and EC2 instance without like without leaking the data in internet. They right. So we can just block the internet also on EC2 instance. So they can't use any internet like any website from EC2 instance, right? Okay, so misconfiguration here, like firewall allowing all IP addresses like this. An internal user can upload the data outside the organization easily with accessing any of like free services hosted IP address or any services. The attacker can also host any services on different public servers, and they easily can copy their data from that machine. Firewall allowing all ports outbound and inbound. This is actually a huge problem seen in many organizations. Like they allow all ports outbound as well as inbound. So basically, if attacker wants, if internal user who have a malicious purpose, if they wants to communicate with his server, which is outside the internal network, they can easily communicate with SSH or different kind of protocol like TFTP, SSH, FTP. They can easily copy internal data to the outside network using connect SAP and different protocols, right? So we have to make sure not allow like all ports outbound as well as inbound also, because there is a something called reverse shell which works better in if they don't allow the inbound connection and don't allow the internet to any servers, right? If you have a bank services, then you don't allow the internet from clients, from users instance, right? for this, I don't have actually a video for explaining this. I just wanted to make sure if everything is like everyone got it or not. So I have done with my PPT actually. Now the question and answer section, you can ask as many as question you want, but make sure like we have a time limit, right? So anyone out there for asking any question? Hello.
Yeah, Tauhid.
Yeah. Yeah, please ask question if you have any. Uh,
Tauhid,
I
can you
think
tell us about any latest vulnerabilities in AWS cloud?
actually the vulnerability, about the vulnerability, we don't have actually AWS vulnerability right now. We are talking about the misconfiguration vulnerability here. If you are using a AWS solution, what misconfiguration leads some vulnerability in your end? Because I'm not talking about here AWS vulnerability. We can see like if anyone wants to know about the AWS vulnerability actually, so they can dig further, they can dig more in depth. And there's a I heard there's some vulnerability in clouds where EC2 instance where like attacker is able to bypass the sandbox. They have basically used the sandbox. I I think it's not AWS vulnerability, it's Google Cloud vulnerability where user can actually bypass the AWS cloud instance to run command on the actual machine where every instance is created. So here we are not talking about any AWS vulnerability. Here we are talking about how the misconfiguration it leads to some vulnerability in organizations, right? I hope
Correct.
Anudeep, you're
Yeah,
clear, right?
yeah. Thank you, Tauhid.
Thank you. Yeah, any other? I think Ron Gustav have something. Can you unmute and ask whatever you wanted to ask? Uh, Vivek have some query, I think. Vivek, can you unmute your speaker and ask whatever you wanted to ask? Okay. Is this possible? Got. Yeah, Vivek, it's possible actually. We are already recording this. Yeah, I got it, Vivek. We are already recording this session, so it will be uploaded by tomorrow, I think, or today night on our channel. Okay. And any other question? GitHub tool for security. Saket. GitHub tool for cloud security misconfiguration. What do you want actually, Saket? Like here you wants to know about the any GitHub repository where you can do the misconfiguration stuff, or you just wanted to ask there is a out there is any tool to automate the system and can give you exactly whatever the misconfiguration is done by the organization on to you, right? You want some tool to discover the misconfiguration in the target, right? Yeah, hello Saket. You can speak actually. Hello. Yeah, there's a many tool actually for discovering the misconfiguration. Like you can go on like what what the tool name is, like AWS, like Sublister also. There's a Sublister also which give you a S3 bucket name. There is a mass which also give you a S3 buckets name. There is a there's a like some AWS. There's a many tool actually. Like you can found like a mass and like hello. You can also use the AWS CLI also. This will give you a better, I think. And for security configuration, like for security configuration in IAM, you have to figure it out by manual, I think. There is no such tools for IAM. Saket, can you unmute yourself? Like, Saket, can you speak? Like I have unmuted you from my side. Can you just tell me so everyone can listen your question also? Okay, I think yeah, it can help you to telling the misconfiguration in S3 bucket if there is. It's not actually, it will show you like there is a no bucket, but entry is available there. So you can try the subdomain takeover. Thank you so much, Saket. Any other question? Guys, any other questions? Anudip, do you have any questions?
No, Tauhid, that's all from my side.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Vivek, do you offer any training? Vivek is asking, do you offer any training? I think we don't offer any training right now, but we will look further, like maybe in near future, we will provide some training on different platform, on different like sections. Okay, right now we don't provide any training, but we are planning to do a webinar constantly on every month. So you can attend our webinar and learn. Thank you, Vivek. Any other question, guys? Okay, I think question is done. Okay, so guys, there is a contact us page. If you have any query, you can just email us, or you can just tweet like Secure 7, or like directly me too. like Tauhid Sheikh 2 on Twitter. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for attending this webinar. Thank you. Okay, Anudeep.
Thank you very much, Tauhid, for this
I'm
webinar.
stopping the
We'll look forward
like.
for more webinars ahead. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Thank you,
Have a good day.
everyone. Good night. Stay at home.